Howdy all. Thought I'd just whip up a quick video just to talk about my experience at the music festival that I went to recently with the off-road tires. But I did also want to just give you a bit of an update on a cushion for my wheelchair. So I'm going to talk about my butt a bit, or arse as we refer to them in the Commonwealth. So the music festival, WOMAD, goes for 4 days. It's hosted in nice grassy parklands, and my wheelchair tires are typically sort of like, I guess, street or road tires, which is fine for day to day, getting around in supermarkets and home and all that sort of stuff. Anything with hard surfaces is pretty good for that. They're not great for getting around on grass and off-road stuff. So I got a pair of extra wheels, and on those wheels are some Billy Bonkers off-road tires, which I wanted to try out at the music festival. They worked pretty well, I think. They have less pressure in them, so the ride's a bit more cushioned, which was pretty nice. But I think any advantages I had from using off-road tires was sort of undermined by using thin, off-the-shelf hand rims, which are a bit harder to grip. I use Gecko push rims, which have a really thick profile on my day-to-day wheels. And I find that I get a lot of purchase out of those, and I can grip them really well and transfer a lot of that strength and push energy into the, when I'm moving. So it's a lot more efficient use of my energy. And unfortunately, the off-road wheels had just typical push rims on there, and it was fine, like it worked very well, but I feel like what I gained for the off-road tires I lost in the push rims. So maybe next year, or maybe in future, I'll look at updating or upgrading the push rims on those off-road wheels to the Geckos or something similar as well, because I think that, there are some gains to be had there. The festival was amazing though. I had a really good time. It was pretty hot and sunny. Accessibility wise, WOMAD is pretty good. They've got lots of accessible toilets around, lots of information published before the event about where the toilets are and all that sort of stuff. And they had this really, really cool accessible bathroom actually that was like a massive kind of camper trailer sort of setup. It was huge. It had like a lift in there to lift people up if they needed that for accessing the toilet that was in there. Had this big fold out bed bench thing, which was pretty cool as well, and just really clean and nice. So big thumbs up to WOMAD for bringing that along this year. They also had some accessible platforms set up for a few of the stages, not all the stages, but the main ones. And you can see a bit of footage here of me accessing one of those, which was pretty cool. I did try out a couple of new dance moves and stacked my wheelchair more than once, just twice. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't hurt myself or anything. It's all grass and dirt, so no issues there. I did damage my hat that was tied to the back of my wheelchair, but besides that, it was a lot of fun with no issues. Something I realized was that basically the event is multiple stages with things happening, sometimes overlapping times and, sometimes a bit back to back. So what I tend to find is someone who is chronically and for some people inconveniently early for things. I would find myself arriving at a stage pretty early, get a good spot, have a good view, but then because I'm like sitting in my wheelchair, people start to rock up when the show starts, which is the sensible time to arrive. And I'd get jammed in, by all these people standing around me, so I couldn't see too much. So I kind of worked out that the strategy I need to employ is to either arrive early, go right up the front, and then make my peace with the fact that I'm stuck there for the whole time. And I've got a good view, so that's good. But if the show ends up being not quite what I thought, you're kind of stuck there and you can't go check out anything else without, sort of being in everyone's way. or just make my peace with rocking up a bit later and staying at the back, and then that way I can leave when I need to. So wheelchair cushions, and that's what I meant by butt stuff. Got a few updates. So when I got the chair, it had a really basic, just lump of foam sort of cushion, really soft, not great, but I didn't really realize that, and I was fairly happy with it. After about a year, I went and saw a seating clinic, and they recommended a slightly firmer cushion, so I switched to that one, and I did like it a lot better, but again, pretty like dumb, basic cushion, just a square block of foam, but I thought that was fine, and yeah, I thought it was perfectly comfortable. A few months after that, though, I started to develop some nerve pain, which I've talked about before. So it sort of manifests as like a feeling of like electric sort of like pulses of very severe pain that go down my right hamstring. And I really wanted to get to the bottom of what that was, and I spoke to a few different people at the time, like physios, exercise physiologists and whatnot, and they all recommended going to get scans to make sure that it wasn't some new pathology in my spine. So I rushed out, did that, spent some money on CT, MRI scans, all that sort of stuff, and thankfully nothing had changed, so that's good. But it meant that I didn't know what the cause was, which was frustrating. So yeah, kept seeing physio, and he gave me some exercises called neural glides, which was super helpful and helped alleviate the symptoms. And I decided to book myself in to see a seating specialist, a wheelchair seating specialist, just to get another opinion on what they thought the issue could be. So I went to see the seating specialist, and I have to say it's one of the most interesting and enlightening appointments that I've ever had, to do with my wheelchair, just in terms of like accessible equipment and changes you can make and why you'd make those changes and all that sort of stuff. So I rocked up and told him about my symptoms, and the first thing he sort of said was like, oh, it sounds like maybe the proximal or the top part of your hamstring where it mounts to your pelvis might be irritated, and sort of showed me where on the body that was, and that was his theory before we'd done anything else. Then he brought out this machine, I guess it is. It's like a pad that you sit on the seat, plugs it into this gadget that communicates to his computer, and it monitors pressure. So he was able to put that on my wheelchair cushion. I could then sit on top of it, and after a few minutes we could get like an image or a map of the pressure for my butt and what was touching what and how much pressure it was copying.
Hold on to your butts.
So the first cushion that we tried out was my day-to-day cushion that's always on my wheelchair. Sat on that, and after a few minutes, it gave us this heat map and showed us where the sort of like hot spots of pressure were. And lo and behold, one of the spots was at this site of where the hamstring sort of sits in your butt. And so that sort of supported his theory that maybe it was copying a bit of wear and tear and pressure and whatnot that it needn't have. But yeah, it was really cool. You're able to visualize exactly what that looks like, and I'll pop that up on the screen. And then after that, we switched to a different cushion to try that one out and see what that one looked like with the pressure sensor as well. The second cushion was a Vic Air or Vicair cushion. It's sort of like a hybrid design where it's got like at the back pockets with all these little like air cells. And then at the front, it's got like foam where, it sort of sits under your thighs. I thought that was really cool. It felt pretty comfortable, and it did feel like it made a difference pretty immediately. And the pressure scan showed that as well. It looked a lot better than my basic cushion, but it did move some of the hot spots just to different areas that weren't there before. But I thought it was a cool cushion, but I went for a bit of a blast around the car park and stuff. And I didn't love that the texture of the cushion was different. So you could sort of feel, because I still have some sensation and everything, even though I've got a spinal cord injury, I could feel that, the air cells felt different to the foam, and didn't really love that feeling. It's pretty cool that it's an off-the-shelf item, so you can just grab it and purchase it and chuck it on your chair and away you go. And I may still get one just to have as a backup, because it is good to have. But yeah, you can see the numbers here in the imagery show that it was better than the first one. But then the seating tech, he whipped up a very quick sort of like molded foam one. So one that's still made out of foam like my current cushion is, but it's tailored to my body shape basically. And that was incredible. So he put that on, and sitting on it felt not as significantly different as you'd expect, but the pressure sensor showed that almost all of those hot spots were gone. So it was a marked improvement in just pressure and the feeling on my body. And I didn't really realize it too much when I sat on that cushion, the tailored cushion, but when I switched back to my normal one, it just felt I was sitting on a log, just this flat slab of foam. It was a lot less comfortable. So yeah, immediately requested a custom cushion. That's about $900 Australian. So waiting for that to get put together, and yeah, that'll be a good upgrade, I think. And really, it's always cool to see that supported by data and the information from the pressure sensors that he had. So that should be ready. I think I've got a first fit on Monday, which is in about a week's time, just to go in and check it out, make sure that it fits okay and feels good and all that sort of stuff. And then I guess he'll finalize it. So it might be, a couple of weeks before I pick it up. But yeah, eagerly looking forward to that. The Vicare one that I mentioned, which is off the shelf, that lasts for a long time. So that's probably why that might be a good option to have as a backup. The foam one, the custom foam one, he did say that they have a lifespan of probably, for me, because I'm not like in my wheelchair all the time, I can probably stretch it out to about a year. But generally speaking, he said that they have a lifespan of about 6 months, and the individual sort of cells in the foam break down over time, and it becomes less comfortable, less effective. So that's something that is important to factor in. Like if you're paying out of pocket, that means every 6 to 12 months you're going to be dropping $1,000 on a new cushion. I think I can probably seek funding from my insurer for that, so I'm pretty grateful for that. But yeah, I think I'll go with that moving forwards. We also had a chat about the backrest on my wheelchair as well. Told him I was pretty happy with that. He seemed to think that there can be some gains and comfort just with fatigue and all that sort of stuff by switching to a different one, maybe one that's a little bit lighter because it's made of carbon fiber. But it's probably not the time to explore that just yet, because I am trying to seek funding for a new wheelchair at the moment, and I don't want to throw heaps of money at this one if I'm just going to be upgrading soon. So just waiting to hear back about that as well. So it's been about a week since I recorded that last clip, and I've since found out that the new wheelchair that I'm after through NDIS is not going to be funded. They had a few things to say about it in terms of it being reasonable and necessary, which is sort of the goalposts for them. Which is disappointing, but that's okay. We push on, and it does mean that maybe I will explore that different backrest for my current wheelchair. So I'll look at doing that. But I will be seeing the seating specialist tomorrow just to do the first sort of like fit check with the new cushion, which I'm excited about. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I think gonna go have a cuppa and the world's best biscuit, dark chocolate coated digestive. Number one. See you in the next one.